A very good morning. My name is Dipti. Today I am going to give a presentation on the topic Impact of Urban Heat Island on a parts of the Mangalore city using remote sensing and GIS approach. Firstly, the contents. Mainly today I am going to explain about abstract objectives, materials and methodology, possible outcomes, results and discussion, that is societal irrelevance, conclusion and future scope, causes of urban heat island and mitigation strategies. First is abstract. Mainly, the urban heat island is also defined as an area which is significantly warmer than its surrounding rural areas due to human activities. Here in our study, we take Mangalore city as our area. We study the temperature of the Mangalore city and its surrounding, and also existence of urban heat island in the Mangalore city. We mainly detect by collecting data from toposheet and satellite images, that is satellite images like Landsat 8 and Landsat 4/7. And we also use the method of GIS and remote sensing. GIS in the sense it is geographical information system which is designed to capture, store, manipulate, analyze, manage all type of geographical data like addresses, pin code, zip code of the area. Next is remote sensing is a science of acquiring information about Earth's surface without actual being in contact with it. And we also take the maps of 1990, 2000, 2050, and 2018. We're going to study these 4 years map and area of Mangalore city. And also the temperature readings observed at these sampling sites are interpolated using ArcGIS 10.1. We mainly use ArcGIS 10.1 as a software to for our study. Use this software and also generate the surface temperature of the Mangalore city by using this software. And it also provide insight details about the temperature which has been changed from past year to present years by of land use, land cover, how it has been changed. And this the data which are obtaining from these studies we can also relate it to environmental engineering studies. Next is objectives. Objectives mainly we study to understand the anthropogenic activities in the Mangalore region, how the human activities has been changed the Mangalore region or an area from past to present years, and also to calculate normalized difference vegetation index, that is vegetation, to calculate normalized difference built up index, that is how built up index and built up areas have been increased, and to calculate land surface temperature, and to correlate the land use land cover changes with land surface temperature. Next is materials and methodology. Materials mainly use the satellite images, that is Landsat 4, 7 and Landsat 8. Mainly the satellite passes the Earth once in a 16 days. So we get two images, which is multi-rated images we will get. Next is topo sheet. Mainly the topo sheet we have been used is D43U13 and D43016 maps we have used for our studies. Mangalore region lies in that topo sheet area. Next is Google Earth images. For our reference, we are using that Google Earth images. Next is software use, that is ArcGIS 10.1 software you are using for digitization and many other step process. Next is methodology. First, we are getting a Landsat data, that is satellite images or an topographic map we are getting. We are doing geometric rectification we are doing, which is mainly for base map and thematic maps, or else we are using it for the land use land cover maps, where we are digitizing the how the built up area. We are differencing some of the built up areas and forest region we are differencing by using that. Next is radiometric rectification, conversion or to add sensor radiance and conversion to the brightness we are mainly using for the land surface temperature, where we are differencing the how the vegetation or and how the temperature have been increased from the past years. We are using this process by using ArcGIS method we are using to calculate land surface temperature. And by this land surface temperature, land use land cover changes, and NDVI map is usually an urban heat island. Then a spatial temperature changes we are also making. Next, base map we are doing for the Mangalore region, and also the thematic maps, that is NDVI map, NDBI maps, and land use land cover, lands and temperature, that is all of thematic maps we are doing. Then last we are doing validation of such maps, like for the 4 years how the difference have been increased or decreased from past years to present years. We are validating that. Next is possible outcomes. How mainly the possible outcomes which we are obtained is normalized difference vegetation index. As I said, how the vegetation have been increased, that we are explaining over here. Next is normalized difference built up index, that is how the built up area have been increased. Next is land use land cover map, how the land has been changed from past to present. Next is thematic map, some of the thematic. First is study area. This is our study area. We mainly took the satellite images of the study area of Mangalore region. This is mainly this we can see mainly Mangalore region, where it is a river, and here MRPL situated, and MRPL. First name of the satellite, that is Landsat 8 we are taking. Sensor is operational land imager. Thermal infrared sensor we are taking. Date of pass of satellite is 9 Jan 2020. Number of bands is 11. Next, this is some of the Google Earth images. We can clearly identify that how the Mangalore city is being in 8 to 2006, and it is 2019 map. How here the vegetation is increased. Vegetation have been there in 2006, and how here the vegetation is replaced by urban built up lands. So we can see the clearly see the difference of these two maps. Next is this is a base map of Mangalore region. Here it takes a maps of D43U13 and D43O16 map we take, and we digitize. We get the mainly we make locate a region like river region, railway region, and road region. We are marking over here, which we are digitizing by using ArcGIS map. We are doing this map. Next, and here we are mainly mentioned 5 main regions of Mangalore, that is MRPL, Bajpe, Mangalore Airport, Hampankanti, Baikampadi. We mainly mention 5 regions. This is a base map of Mangalore region. Next is NDVI, that is normalized difference vegetation index. It is mainly vegetation, how the vegetation have been increased. We are mainly measuring the vegetation, that is we mainly use this formula, that is NDVI is equal to near infrared minus red divided by near infrared plus red, which mainly explains that if the vegetation is more, there will be more reflectance, and if the vegetation is less or vegetation is less, there will be less reflectance. We can see the difference over here only. The value here it is 0.72 and it is 0.14. How it is have been here the value is been decreased where there is no vegetation, less vegetation, and here the vegetation is more. So the mainly the value we take maximum as +1 and -1 as a minimum value we take in this. So we can clearly observe. This is a map of 1990 which we have done. Here the vegetation is nearly, it is very high vegetation, so the value is 0.72, and during 1990 the vegetation was nearly high. The built up areas were less, so the high value we got is 0.72. And this is a map of 2000, how it is slightly decreased vegetation, and urban areas have been increased, so this value being little less from 1990, that is 0.47. And in this map also we can clearly look, that is 2015, where the urban areas have been increased and the vegetation decreased, that is 0.61. And this 2018 map, where the urban areas have been increased, much increased, and vegetation have been decreased, so the vegetation value is very low, that is 0.54 when compared to other maps. Next is normalized difference built up. In this mainly the normalized difference vegetation built up. In this we are calculating how the built up areas have been increased. In this we can see that the highest urban high areas, where there is typically higher reflectance in a shorter wave infrared when compared to the near infrared. And here the NDVI maps values nearly lie from -1 to +1. That is, negative value of NDBI represent water bodies, and the higher value represent how the built-up areas have been increased. And this is a formula, that is shortwave infrared minus near infrared divided by shortwave infrared plus near infrared. And this is a map. This the purple color or the dark blue color, which indicates it is a built up area. Some of the barren land also present during this, so the value is high here, that is 0.57. This is how the barren land has been increased, barren lands values, and also the urban land built up areas. And in this is 1990 map, and this in 2000 map, the value has been slightly increased, that is urban, that is built up areas have been slightly increased from 1990 to 2000, that is barren land has also been increased, that is 0.5833. Here in 2015, the value is like less, that is 0.41, where the this is of red, that is the vegetation which is less. And here also we can see in 2018, here the vegetation that is 0.38, that is much lesser than this previous map, that is 2015. Next is Anderson classification. We mainly use Anderson classification for the land use land cover changes. Mainly we consider only two levels, that is level 1 and level 2, which has residential commercial service. We mainly use this map for our digitization of land use land cover. By using this, we can digitize. This is land use land cover map of 1990. The pink color which have been here marked is mainly mixed urban or built up land, which is where it is less during 1990. And this mixed forest land, it is more during this time, that is which is light purple color is a mixed land, and barren land is a brown color. We have marked accordingly here. And here also we can see the here the mixed forest is much, and a little bit of mixed urban have been increased in this same as in 2015. The mixed urban built up is very more in this region. And also in 2018, there are many mixed forest or an cropland have been replaced by a mixed urban. Next is land surface temperature. Here mainly it explains how the area explains how the area's land surface temperature, how the temperature have been increased from 1990 to 2000. This is also used by using a formula. Here mainly we see how the temperature of the area have been increased. It is band 10 and 11 we are using, and the land side is we are using in this. And here also we can see here more red is showing how the temperature have been increased. The 2018, it also we can see the temperature is very high. Here in April it is 40, and here in 2018 it is 42. We can see that difference clearly how the temperature increased. Next is societal relevance. Societal relevance, the result which is obtained can be further used for the project related, like environmental relating. We can use this. The measure can be taken to reduce the urban heat island. We can take the measures like such as rooftops can be vegetated with, which will keep structure cool. We can make the rooftops as a green or vegetated, which keeps the structure and surrounding cools, helping reducing temperature. The results suggest that the presence of water bodies will reduce the temperature and keep the surrounding cool. It also keeps the surrounding cool. Conclusion concluded that distribution of urban area mainly located in the central part of the Mangalore city. As per map, we can see that it mainly located in the central part of the Mangalore city. The areas with high population density and low vegetation cover and more human activities experience with high land surface temperature. Where there is low vegetation and high population density, the high land surface temperature can be seen. On the other hand, the low value of NDVI was mainly located in urban and high density residential area. Low value of NDVI mainly located in the high density residential area. And we also determined by using land use land curve. And the study also reveals that the solar radiation reflect during the day and emits it at the night. Mainly the solar radiation is reflect during the day. It also emit at the night, and they will be more warmer in the night, so that the higher temperature will be noted. Um, it can also be used, the result which is obtained can be also used for the various project related environmental engineering, as I told. By this, the rooftop can be made green by vegetation, which absorb the water and keep cool, and they will also decreasing in temperature. And some of the causes of urban heat island, mainly it is the increase in the urban temperature is mainly due to first is human gathering, carbon dioxide emission, next is low albedo materials, that is heat absorption like roots, the impervious roads. Next is air pollutants, that is heat trapped in the atmosphere, wind blocking, less convection, urban canopy, heat trapped in the atmosphere, destruction of tree, deforestation, less cooling efficiency, and the air conditioner AC which we are using in house offices, which also heat releases in the atmosphere and the temperature increases. Next is urban heat island mitigation strategies. These are some of the mitigation strategies which we are using. Green roofs, evapotranspiration, and high albedo roofing materials, reflecting of solar radiation, which keeps the cool the urban environment. Some of the green vegetation, shade trees, the building, water bodies present will also makes cool urban environment. Evaporation, enhanced wind speed, free space, wind path, urban planning, make proper urban planning will also helps in cool urban environment, and also pervious pavements. The pervious pavements which also infiltrate the water. So these are the some of the urban heat island mitigation strategies which we are using in our studies. So this is about the urban heat island. Thank you.